Ben on your right. We'll get things started off here. They'll be given the green light, and we will be underway
Ben
in
Wienburg,
just a moment.
a long-time player, less notoriety than Peter Ingram, but a long-time player, I believe from Cincinnati.
That's correct.
Several good SCG Tour finishes over the years, but not the resume, certainly the recent resume that Peter Ingram has racked up.
But both these players come into this weekend at 9-0, playing what one could argue is the best deck in the format. I think it's hard to argue otherwise now. And players are going to have to get creative to try to beat this thing.
It did not look that close yesterday.
No, it didn't. Looks like we've got a minor technical error that we are working through before we get this match underway, so apologies on the slight delay. Well, we'll be underway here in just a moment and watch these players cast some Inverter of Truths and Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, presumably. Ben wants to check out his Twitter to put it away. All right. Choked Estuary. Yeah, Peter's going to win the tournament.
I know.
Yeah,
you're running that hot.
Yeah. Must be unbelievable.
It is literally unbelievable.
Thoughtseize for Ben off of Watergrave, so he's going to fall down to 16. We'll take a look at Peter's hand. He's got an opt. Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Inverter of Truths. Looks like a copy of Mystical Dispute and a couple of lands. I feel like I just made that out, even though I can barely see it.
I know. You
just.
Yeah, you're a professional.
Bang.
You're a professional.
Bang.
I watch a baseball game. I can't really tell the nuances between different types of pitches.
Yeah.
But the announcer gets it every single time.
Every time.
Because they're an expert.
That's right. Also an island and a drowned catacomb.
Well, we knew about the island.
Did we? I suppose we did. I suppose we did. Ben, going to take a moment here, take a look at this hand before making a selection with Thoughtseize. Also consult his own hand. And it looks like he's going to go to he's thinking the Inverter. Okay.
It's very surprising because you would assume in a matchup like this where there's a lot of counterspells, removal, and such, that you're valuing either Ingram's ability to fight back with a counterspell or just what is the key piece in a card advantage type of fight, which would be the Jace. So Inverter, a very interesting selection there.
Well, here's the Thoughtseize for Peter Ingram. So Thassa's Oracle, Thoughtseize, Dig Through Time, Fabled Passage, Watery Grave among the cards, and I believe a Mystical Dispute here for Ben as well. So both players with some pretty good opening hands. See how Peter wants to poke a hole here. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen Thoughtseize take a Thoughtseize in Magic's history, but he's going to go with Dig Through Time. So goodbye, powerful instant. Ingram will play an island and pass the turn back.
Yeah, I think Ingram's hand is just not good enough to value the Thoughtseize very highly. What's the likelihood that you can get your Planeswalker to resolve, especially against a known counterspell? So just take the highest impact card and don't worry right now about trying to force through your own thing.
Well, it's Thoughtseize number 2. Maybe Pioneer's best card has been cast 3 times in 2 turns. Jace gone. Couple of lands and Mystical Dispute left over there for Peter. Watergrave tapped, and we're going to head back over to Ingram. Ingram with just a land. He'll pass the turn back. It was that Drowned Catacomb. This is an island for Ben. That is a Thassa's Oracle, which he plays upside down because he's holding the cards in his hand upside down that Peter has seen via Thoughtseize. Looks like Thassa's Oracle is going to keep a couple cards on top. We're going to head back Ingram's way.
Pro tactic.
Yes. It actually just confuses me.
I know.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I don't do it. I don't care.
Yeah. Bang. In for one with Thassa's Oracle. That is a Fabled Passage. This is a Narset, Parter of Veils. Ingram does have a Mystical Dispute. Awkward.
Is the awkward thing here now that because he played the Watery Grave tapped in a spot where his life total is kind of an amorphous value, that if he disputes, he gets disputed back?
That's correct.
Is that the reason why?
That is the awkward thing.
No one plays their dual lands untapped.
Not nearly enough.
I take I just take 2 out of principle.
Yeah.
And Ingram's just going to let it go.
Thought Erasure, the find here off of Narset.
Modern Classic players. I do have the final player count for this event. We had 162 players.
There's an island for Pete.
Maybe Ingram got spooked there. You know, the Thassa's Oracle hitting him. Now you're suddenly
Shook him. Shook him down.
No, now you're suddenly at whatever, you know.
Thought Eraser's going to take Dig Through Time. Mystical Dispute and Thought Eraser left over in Wienburg's hand. We're going to head back Ben's way. He'll draw a card for the turn, in with a Thassa's Oracle. He hasn't activated Narset yet, so we'll see if he wants to go there. Drew another copy of Thassa's Oracle as well. Here comes Narset's activation. Top 4. Opt. Sacrifice the upside down Fabled Passage. 4 basic island. And now it's a Thought Eraser. So it looks like Ingram's going to dispute, and
well, it's either going to be selected, and its shelf life is expiring.
Yep.
So gotta do it now.
Wienburg's going to hold on to his Mystical Dispute, so now Ben is going to opt on Ingram's end step. Top card goes to the bottom, so new card coming in for Ben. He'll quickly untap those 3 lands in the Thassa's Oracle and draw, and in for 1. Wienburg is not messing around. You got to love the pace of play, partner.
Oh, yeah. Control mirrors can go on for a long time. But Wienburg, sensing weakness, playing fast and getting busy with that Thassa's Oracle.
Speaking of Thassa's Oracle, here it comes here for Ingram.
Yeah.
We're going back over to Ingram. Jace, a wielder of mysteries.
Yeah, some fortuitous draw steps there from Ingram there, with Dispute plus Jace being able to push that through. Still not really out from behind it yet because the Narset's preventing the Jace from doing very, very much, but he's at least getting some stuff on the battlefield. The 1 copy of Hero's Downfall could be valuable here, as is some way to kill an opposing Thassa's Oracle and finish off the Narset, but it might be too late now.
Good draw there from Ben. Finding a copy of Dig Through Time. Great card to find in this spot. So Wienburg's going to take a look at the top 7. It looks like Converter of Truths is going to be added to Wienburg's hand. Didn't get a great look at the other card, as Ben's going to consult his hand. And now put these other 5 cards to the bottom. 4 man, it might just be time to Inverter right now. Yeah, he's feeling pretty confident this game if he's going to fire this bad boy off. So there goes the deck. The graveyard will be the library. Thought Eraser, Inverter of Truths, Mystical Dispute, Dig Through Time, Opt.
Yeah, and I think it makes some sense to shut the door in this spot. Ingram's empty-handed, and even though Wienburg's position is very strong right now, it's not 100% if you drag the game over an infinite timeline. So you might as well just put him on essentially 1 draw step to break out of this. It's asking a lot because there's not a whole lot to break out, especially now that you have a blocker to protect the Narset.
Yeah, I guess Ingram would have to draw his Hero's Downfall. Well, that wouldn't do it either. I mean, yeah, Ben's hand is loaded. He's got 2 Thassa's Oracles and a Jace, so there's no way he's losing that game. Ben Wienburg's going to win game number 1 here over Peter Ingram. Demir Inverter Mirror goes to the player on the right. he'll take the lead over Peter Ingram, who has been winning so much with this deck. So I guess now we turn our attentions to these sideboards here, folks. Get our eyes on what both players are working with, and we are going to start here with Peter Ingram, who's got 3 Jace Vryn's Prodigy, 2 Heroes Downfall, 2 Damping Sphere, 2 Legion's End, and 6 1-ofs in Thassa's Oracle, Mystical Dispute, Narset Parter of Veil's Castdown, Kalidas Trader of Get, and a Doomblade. We've seen Peter a couple times here this weekend, and we've seen him play the mirror a little bit too. How do you think he sideboards again?
So as far as the one-ofs go, I think the Mystical Dispute and the Narset are just good for blue control matchups. So I think the Jace Vryn's Prodigy is very strong here. If it doesn't die, you leverage a huge advantage off of it. I think the 2 Heroes Downfalls are really important for managing Planeswalkers. And I suppose, I mean, this is the card that's kind of in dispute right now is Legion's End. If you assume that everyone's on Jace Vryn's Prodigy or Pack Rat, Legion's End makes a lot of sense, although it's a matchup that's often not determined by small creatures. People have discard spells to take it when it's good and strain it when it's bad, so it's a risky card to bring in. But if you think the post-board games are likely to be determined by Jace Vryn's Prodigy or Pack Rat or some other cheap source of card advantage or racing, I think Legion's End is worth bringing in as well.
On Ben Wienburg's side, you see Pack Rats over there. There are 3 of them, which makes Legion's End look pretty nice. 2 Damping Spheres, 2 Cry the Carnarium, 2 Legion's End, 2 Jace Vryn's Prodigy, a Negate, a Noxious Grasp, a Thassa's Oracle, and an Enter the Gaudy Turtles. What you can see here is that Ben is very much geared towards beating, I think, aggressive decks with Cry the Carnarium and Legion's End, and less so the Inverter Mirror.
Yeah, and Enter the God Eternals, too, is another card that carries a lot of weight in some aggressive matchups. If Ben Wienburg, I know Pack Rat has become controversial among people who play a lot of Inverter, but if it's in your sideboard, it's for this matchup. So those will be coming in. I think the Jace Vryn's Prodigies will as well, the Negate. And again, Legion End is that inflection point. Some people, including Edgar Magage, who is a very reliable source of information for such things, thinks that Legion's End is appropriate to bring in the mirror match. Not sure if either of these players have that perspective.
Well, those are the options there for both players. Game number 2 will be underway between our 2 9-0s here in just a moment. But before we get there, we want to let you know you can save on some cards, folks. You can save 10% on Magic singles through Sunday, which is
today.
It's today.
So hop on to StarCityGames.com. Pick out whatever singles you like, with the exception of pre-orders. Those are not on sale, but everything else, 10% off through today. Use coupon code SCG10 at checkout to get 10% off your singles.
Save that money.
Save it.
Just save it. Get some cards, save some money, SCG 10. You get it. SCG, Star City Games,
10%
off. Boom.
Easy to remember.
We're basically giving the cards away at this point. They're basically free, if you think about it.
So paid.
Yeah. We're underway. Fetid pools. We'll start things off here for Ingram and Wienburg. Is it time for a Jace Vryn Prodigy? Yes. Does Wienburg have an answer? He has an island. He has a Pack Rat. Well, which one of these 2 drops is better?
If Ingram has a removal spell, it's not close.
Well, taste it.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Wienburg better have a removal spell fast. Some of the best cards in the mirror match are the discard cards. Mm-hmm. And Jace Vryn's Prodigy does so much to dampen the effectiveness of opposing discard spells and also make yours so much more powerful. Because you get to flash it back. Because I left that sort of open-ended.
Here is Thoughtseize. Mystical Dispute, Dig Through Time, 2 Fabled Passage. So it's early, but I know you're still getting that coffee in. Or is it a cappuccino this
No,
morning?
I'm helping out the viewers.
Oh.
To explain, because I left it sort of trailed off
I
there.
was here when it happened.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure they knew that I knew that the reason that Jace Vryn's Prodigy is so powerful is because of its interaction with spells.
Yes.
Which both decks have a lot of.
Here's Nop.
I'm on fire, man.
You basically are.
I got have you talking down to me?
It's not talking down. It's talking adjacent. Fabled Passage to the graveyard. 3 cards in the graveyard for Jace. It won't be hard for Ingram to transform with this turn if he wants to. So here is a Fabled Passage. He'll sacrifice that. It's a basic island. How was that burrito?
It was good. I was surprised.
It was actually good?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
really surprised.
I'm still surprised. Breakfast burritos are generally pretty good, though. Here's Narset. That'll resolve down to 3. Take a look at the top 4 and select 1 card. Ingram going to consult the grip before making his decision. Tough call here for Peter.
Remember that any spell that he gets, there's the second and third order consequences of being able to cast it a second time.
Mm-hmm. He'll take Mystical Dispute.
An interesting selection there, in part because it's just not a powerful thing to flash back, obviously. So if Ingram was in the tank that long, he was looking at something, I think, maybe something like Opt, where he could be playing it multiple times.
2 Planeswalkers to 0 now. That's the advantage here for Ingram, is Wienburg's going to Opt. And Ingram's going to let that resolve. So top card becomes the bottom here for Ben. Now he'll draw a mystery card. He's untapping. He's drawing for his 4th turn.
And you can see a handful of discard for Wienburg, but the things that matter are on the battlefield.
Well, here is Thought Eraser. Dispute and Jace.
Yeah, Wienburg with the facial expression of a person who knows they are in quite a bit of trouble.
Yep.
Because he's going to have to get out from under this spot. He's going to have to stop Ingram from playing another card that matters and also get one of his cards that matters to resolve. Mm-hmm. So that's about the worst hand you can look at right there.
He'll leave on top of the Surveil and pass back to Ingram. So Ingram's got a Mystical Dispute in hand. He'll draw a card. He'll minus his Narset. Take a look at the top 4 once again and take a spell or a Planeswalker. Well, that's a good Magic card.
Yeah, and if Ingram here can chain off into 1 discard spell, which then can be flashed back by the Jace, he's going to have a whole new hand of cards, 2 new Planeswalkers. He's going to get the best 2 cards out of Wienburg's hand, and you can just about wrap it up from that spot.
There's Dig.
The prize here is Thoughtseize. If Wienburg can find a Thoughtseize off of this Dig Through Time, then he's going to be able to cast it twice this turn and still have everything on the battlefield left over to play with the following turn, and the Mystical Dispute still in hand.
Well, we'll see if Ingram's able to find it. He's already, well, he picked his 2 cards. Looks like really fast. Just thinking about the others. I know we like to call Thoughtseize Pioneer's probably best card because it goes in a lot of different places, but Dig Through Time is really starting to move up the ranks here pretty quickly.
Yeah, and they are 2 great tastes that taste great together.
Yep, there is that Thoughtseize that you mentioned. So there goes a Dig Through Time.
At least Wienburg's hand's pretty powerful, although the line here that Ingram can take is just sit 1 turn with his Mystical Dispute and then Thoughtseize the following turn.
Yep.
If there were 2 prizes in Wienburg's hand there, I think you would have seen the flashback on Thoughtseize, but with 3, just take your time, wait 1 more turn, and then take care of everything.
Not quite sure. Oh, here's Hero's Downfall off the top.
I mean,
that's a good draw.
That's the best. That's really the best draw because you can't do anything with the Mystical Dispute, and now Wienburg's got 2 live cards in his hand that he might be able to resolve over the course of the next 2 turns.
Yeah, that's actually a heck of a draw set
yeah,
there for Ben.
That's the one right there that could get him back into it.
Narset. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good Magic card.
Yeah, that'll play here.
Pete will pass the turn back with Dispute at the ready. Jace is getting countered. Okay. Wienburg's got to get through that stage of things, so that's taken care of.
Yeah, that extra Narset from Ingram there is quite good as well because even if a Jace were to resolve, it's so much insurance over it running away with the game.
Narset down. Take an opt. Not the best of hits in our set, but there are worse things. Play a land. Play an opt. Top card. Staying on top. How about another one? Top card. Staying on top. Give me that Jace. Thank you, sir. Surveil. Wienburg has another Jace in hand, though.
Again, the Narset's going to prevent a lot of the worst of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Wienburg struggle. Like
I can't beat it.
Well, also with that, how good is this Jace even?
Yeah.
I mean, fine, whatever.
Yeah, it's merely okay. Wienburg's going to mill 2 cards, but he doesn't get to draw a card, of course, because of Narset's static, which you only get to draw 1 card per turn. So Ingram's going to untap, and he's drawing.
Narset is quite the card.
It is
Blue Mirrors.
really good.
Something. It is really something.
Downfall that. Kindly leave.
Wienburg just throwing his die across the
Doesn't even care about a property. Dig through time. Just doesn't value anything we bring to the feature match area.
Just swatted it into the 3rd row.
Yeah.
Players, that is time in the round. Active player finish your turn. So you can put 5 additional turns as needed.
7 more. This deck is a problem. It is really good.
It is really good.
Yeah. Tap. Are we tapping out?
Ben, let it go, man.
You can just play game 3.
Yeah. You got you. Okay.
And we fight on.
We fight on.
Narset of his own. That I would have folded. I would fold. Right now, I would give up right now. If I was Ben, I would give up.
I've had enough. You know what? Sometimes it's just not your game.
There's still a 3rd one to be played.
Yeah, just move on to that one.
Thought sees you. Give me that negate. Ooh. Get that out of here. Jace. We're reading that one? Give a little look-ski poo? Ben will draw. Narset. Is he going to brick again? Can you imagine?
I guess he was. I'm betting he was looking to see if Jace had 1 power.
Could
it finish off the Narset?
Gotcha. Dig through time to find.
That's my prediction.
Okay. Here's an attempted dig, I think. Will it resolve? Ingram wants to see what's left behind before making his decision, I believe.
Yeah, the exiling actually matters a ton because it informs what your deck becomes if you resolve an inverter.
9:30 Modern Challenge players, your next round pairings have been posted. 9:30 Modern Challenge players, your next round pairings have been posted.
All right, Ingram says that's fine. Is Wienburg able to claw himself back into this game somehow?
Yeah, it's been quite impressive. He was looking in major trouble, I would say, starting on turn 3. And several turns went by that did not look a whole lot better. But he's at something resembling parity right now. If he can find an answer for the Jace for his prodigy, he's kind of back to neutral. Behind a little bit in terms of just sheer card advantage that's been accumulated this game. But, Ingram's down to very few cards in hand. He's got some lands. Same thing is true of you. You are kind of back in it.
All right. He'll sacrifice Fabled Passage. Get a basic island. No quitting Ben Wienburg.
No. Even though it looked like he was about to tap out.
That's another dig.
Yeah, he took Fable Passage plus Dig.
All right.
He's got to be basically as proactive as possible to try to find an answer to the Jace. If you do that, again, your position's not all that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if you allow that Jace to transform, and then your whatever your best card left over gets tagged with a Thoughtseize, gonna be hard to come back from that.
So dig number 2 is going to resolve. Wienburg will take a look at 7 more and take 2 with him. I admire the moxie.
Oh yeah, he's been, he's landing some jabs at least. I still think he's pretty far behind here, especially if that Jace goes unchecked. But it was looking like a total runaway, and now we're back to just playing a game where it looks like Ingram's ahead.
All right, we're back over to Peter now as he's untapped his lands and drawn his card for the turn. Active Jace, Narset on 1 counter, so he can't minus that to take a look at any more cards, just that static effect on the battlefield. All right, Thought Eraser. Packrat, Thassa's Oracle, Narset are the cards to choose from here for Ingram.
Keep in mind that the Jace is a little painful to transform this turn because of the opposing Narset. You could wait and do it on Wienburg's turn so you still get your loot, but then you're down the option to flash something back to this turn.
So there goes Packrat. Surveil, Drowned Catacomb, right to the bin. 4 mana. Okay, Jace Wielder of Mysteries. But opposing Narset causing some trouble. And Ingram is going to mill 2 cards there for Wienburg. Not draw a card because of the Jace. Because of the Narset, and we head back over to Wienburg. So Planeswalker advantage 3-1. This is Narset number 2. A little shortcutting. Reset the one that's on the battlefield. Take a look at the top handful of cards.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if Ingram's setup here, what he's going for is transform the Jace at the end of the turn so you still get your card. Untap, flashback Hero's Downfall on the Narset. Now your Jace is unlocked, and you're running away.
Just a land in hand for Ingram. Now here's your Jace activation. All right, there goes Dig.
Good sign.
Yeah. Oh, what actually happens there, is that the Thoughtseize, so Ingram draws and discards and then loses his Jace. So
there's no way for him to cover anything.
He just loses all the cards.
But now things are unlocked.
Watery Grave there for Wienburg. And as you mentioned, things are unlocked. So now
Jace Telepath Unbound can get the downfall back. Now the Jace is ready to go, and Ingram is running downhill once again.
Ingram will draw 2 cards, draw a card, mill 2 of Ben's. And now it's 3 Planeswalkers to none. Wienburg going to still play it out. Tried to fight back with those back-to-back copies of Dig Through Time, but wasn't able to unlock anything meaningful. And now there's Inverter. So Wienburg wants to see what's in the graveyard here for Pete.
Your pairings for round 2 are online at pairings.starcitygames.com and are making their way to the pairings boards. Please make the way for the judges.
Jace up. Jace up. Mill a Hero's Downfall and a Thoughtseize. Draw a card. This is a Thought Eraser. Goodbye, Thassa's Oracle. Show you an island. Wienburg will draw after the Surveil. Surveil will mill an Opt. And now he'll give it in. Peter Ingram's going to win game number 2 here over Ben Wienburg. Demir Inverter Mir going to go to game number 3. It's back and forth. It's up and down. And it's actually a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and you can tell, these 2 games have really shown off, even in a mirror match, just how flexible and fluid this deck is capable of playing. It's a combo deck when that's called for, and it's a control deck when that's called for.
It's all about getting that Planeswalker advantage. And if you're able to do that, like Peter was able to in that game, it's pretty straightforward and easy to win. And I'm curious if Peter's going to go back to the drawing board here, because one thing that he did see in that second game is Pack Rat.
Yes.
And so he might go back to the drawing board, add a little bit more removal. But Pack Rat was pretty irrelevant in that match, or at least in that game. Excuse me.
What's interesting is that, you can use Legion's End to answer Chase Frim's Prodigy, but it doesn't work all the time. So if you're on the fence about Legion's End, against Chase Frim's Prodigy, that's one thing. Legion's End is spectacular against Pack Rat basically all the time. It's very hard for that one to miss. So if you are one of those people who are like, well, I don't really want to bring in Legion's End if I just think they've got 2 copies of Jace, that seems narrow, seems like it's going to get stranded a lot of the time. Once you see Pack Rat, I think that does change the calculus quite a bit.
Well, these players are going to go get ready here for game number 3. Very quickly, we're going to talk about Star City Games Premium. We already talked about you can get 10% off up until today. But if you are a premium member here with Star City Games, you can get plenty of discounts, like 5% off of sealed products, 10% off of singles all the time, and 15% off of supplies, and, of course, exclusive content from Paulo Vitor Damarosa, Patrick Chapin, Jerry Thompson, Autumn Burchett, Emma Handy, Sheldon Menery. The list goes on and on and on, and even this guy to my left, your right, Patrick Sullivan.
Just cranking out the content. Content producer down, making content, $7.99 a month. StarCityGames.com, and get a bunch of discounts all over the website.
Peter Ingram, 9-0 here. Top 8 at Players Tour Phoenix, 1 SCG Richmond, and he's going to be top 8 in even more opens, most likely this year. 29 years old from Wantagh,
I think. I don't know for sure.
Wantagh H, New York. Last year played in 16 opens, top 8 at 3 of them with a W. This year, he's already got 1 W under his belt, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him win this tournament, given that he knows this Dimir Inverter deck incredibly well. 10 open top 8s all time with 3 wins, an invitational top 8 as well. His favorite band is one that I enjoy as well, in Coheed and Cambria. That is Peter Ingram, and we're going to watch him play some more Magic right now against Ben Wienburg. Winner of this match, 10-0, first place in the standings, and in very good shape to top 8 this tournament.
Do you know back in the day on a broadcast I made fun of Coheed and Cambria
Big
and
mistake.
got multiple mean tweets sent to me by 13-year-olds?
I bet they were a little older than that.
I don't believe they were.
Okay. Coheed's great. I might even recite some Coheed lyrics during this game just for Pete. Weave it into the commentary.
Not just a professional, but an artist.
Artiste. Thank you. Ingram's going to take a mulligan here, it looks like, so he's going to be going down to at least 6 cards. I'm in the mood for a smoothie this morning. Just thought I'd let you and everybody else know that.
Is that a Coheed lyric?
No.
That's just a statement of fact.
That's just a really, really fair question.
We can make that happen. There's a Steak and Shake right down the road.
That's not a smoothie. That's a milkshake.
Okay.
That sounds horrible, too. We had Steak and Shake for dinner yesterday. It was bad.
My meal was fantastic.
It was not good.
Could not have been better.
My onion rings could not have been greasier if they tried. I think there's a local Panera Bread. And that place is not good.
We're not eating there.
But
I draw a line.
You can eat anywhere you want.
I draw a line.
I might be dialing up a strawberry banana smoothie. Pack Rat, Thassa's Oracle, Thoughtseize, Thought Erasers, plural, and an island make up Ben's hand. Bye, Pack Rat. We'll go to Ben. Another copy of Thought Eraser. So, let's let it rip. Pete's hand, Op, Mystical Dispute, lands, Island, Swamp, Fabled Passage.
This hand is actually quite strong against all of Wienburg's discard. Heavy on lands, he'll be able to take something that doesn't matter. He'll be able to follow up, take another thing that doesn't matter, and then from there, he's going to be kind of blindly hoping to hit somewhere down the line.
Ben will pass. Surveil stays on top. over to Ingram as he lost his mystical dispute. There's an island. This is a thought eraser. Thoughtseize, thought erasers, plural, and Thassa's Oracle.
Guess you take Thassa's Oracle, right? You have 1 spell left against 3 discard spells. Nothing to be gained by taking a discard spell.
I suppose. Wienburg will draw. He'll fire off his thought eraser. Pete will lose his opt. Couple of lands. Wienburg, top card. Looks like it's going to stay on top. Or at least he's thinking about it. Long thought now here for Ben on where this card's going to go. Graveyard. Choked Estuary right in the bin. Ingram, land 3. It's a swamp. Back over to Wienburg.
Yeah. Wienburg there in a spot where, yes, he does need land number 4, and he does need double black, but not like this. I won't take the Estuary.
I wonder how many games they win where they're just like, screw it, inverter, 6, 6, 6.
That's part of it.
That's how I play it.
With an oracle, in the graveyard, he's only got 1 black mana and 3 lands, so it's not. But if Wienburg could somehow cast an inverter next turn, I believe he would. Just let it go.
Just say, let's go.
Let's go.
Ingram's draw was a hero's downfall. He'll play his Fabled Passage and pass the turn back over to Ben. Ben's going to fire off a Thoughtseize. Just make you discard a card every turn. And there's Jace.
So Wienburg with both Jace Vryn's Prodigy and Pack Rat.
Oh, yeah. He slices and dices.
That downfall draw was excruciating for Ingram. He knew that one. That's a high-value target that he knew was going to get taken there.
Well, Pete's got some really good draws here, and Watery Grave and Choked Estuary are not one of them. Drew another land for the turn. Now we go back over to Ben, who might be thinking about activating this Jace and transforming it.
Well, hand's quite good. I mean, he's got Inverter plus Dig.
Draw. Well, drew an opt. That's, I think, an easy discard. Transformation complete. Jace Telepath Unbound. Jace going down.
Yeah, Wienburg wants to be super, super safe here. He's going to go ahead and flashback a Thoughtseize against only 1 card because he does not want this Dig Through Time to get countered. And this Dig Through Time gives him a route. You know, he has an inverter in hand. Could be land number 4 plus a counter spell or something like that, and he might be able to get this game over with while Ingram has no resources to work with.
Yep, and he's just going to leave Thassa's Oracle in the graveyard. So now he takes a look at the top 7 cards. He'll take 2 with him. Probably looking for a black source for the inverter that's in his hand, and maybe a discard spell to clear the way. He's found a copy of Fabled Passage, so he's got some options here, does Ben. As it looks like he's looking to put a wrap on this game pretty quickly if he can.
Yeah, you can see him taking the Fetid Pools to the top. He does not want to take Fabled Passage in the spot because he doesn't want to put another card in his graveyard. He wants to make sure the combo is rolled up as fast as possible.
And Fetid Pools will be played, so we head back over to Ingram, who's drawn a copy of Thoughtseize, I believe. He'll let it rip. Inverter and Jace.
Well, I mean, bad news for Ingram. I mean, assuming you just have to take Inverter here unless you have some hope of... I guess if you take the Jace and Wienburg plays the Inverter, you have a draw to your own Jace to just mill him out.
Okay.
So Ingram's saying, you know, I've got a 5% shot at this.
I got
one.
now.
Go for it, and if you leave him with if you take the Inverter and leave him with a Jace, and it's 2 Jaces versus nothing, you're on like 0%.
Can we draw Ipnu Rivulet? We got one of those.
No.
Okay. I know some people play that. Okay.
I like this play from Ingram. I think he's 0% to win the game straight up, or very close to it. This gives him a real crack at it.
So if Ingram, so what does Ingram have to draw? Because
Wienburg's
got 3 cards in his
Yeah,
hand.
now that he's moved to a 3rd card in his graveyard, I think he's in the clear.
Okay.
But before, with it being at 2, that actually is a shot at it.
Sure.
I mean, I guess you could take a draw here, hope that Wienburg misses, and then do it next turn.
Yeah.
Because one of the cards is dig, right? If he draws dig, he just says go.
Sure.
I guess he hits for 6 and then says, there's no guarantee he wins the game this turn.
Well, he just threw Thassa's Oracle.
Even Dispute would play here.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. That's a good draw.
Now, keep in mind that Ingram still also has to not die from attacks. That is part of what's happening, too. Wienburg can close the game in enough time. But this dig through time, if it finds a counter spell and a removal spell, I think Wienburg's beat.
Ooh.
Exciting.
Yeah.
This is
Time
exciting.
was a nice draw. Top 7 here for Pete. Roll those sleeves up. Let's get nasty. Downfall's in there. Okay. I think Narset too. All right, so blah, blah, blah. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So does he have to blow up Thassa's Oracle with the trigger on the stack? Is that what it is?
Or counter it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the Jace isn't going to do. Doesn't really work.
Jace's devotion to blue. So I believe there's some sort of rule change with
where the front side is also
I think it's
the back.
the front side is the casting.
But it's still only one blue.
Correct.
Even if it works that way, it's still only one blue.
So I think you gotta downfall that with the trigger on the stack. Okay, so now Ben, Pack Rat. Well, it's still the same situation as far as the clock is concerned. I think Ingram, Narset. Okay, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, because Pack Rat's not enough.
Ingram. Oh boy.
Pack Rat hits for 2 and then for 4, right?
And then Ingram goes down to. If Ingram has to play a Water Grave untapped, right, he goes to 8. You downfall the inverter.
Yep.
Okay, and then Pack Rat, draw a card, make a rat, attack for 2, put you down to 6.
And then next turn is lethal.
And then
you draw
and you
two
discard. Yeah,
threes.
yep. Okay.
If it's Watery Grave. And keep in mind that Ingram gets another shot at something to break this all up next turn with the Narset.
Yeah, and a draw step.
Because Wienburg does not have the time to go after the Narset. He's just got to go attack you, and hope it's good.
Okay, so Ingram's going to go down to 8. What are Ben's cards left in his deck? He has Dig and something else.
Was it like a Fabled Passage?
Yeah, something. I think it's garbage.
Yeah, it's just if Pack Rat can get it done in 2 turns, it's going to be the thing.
Game of Magic broke out.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Ingram said, I'm going to let you roll the dice with Inverter if you want to go down that way.
Downfall the Inverter, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
All right. You got to make a rat, because if you don't, you're short.
Yeah, you got to go 2 this turn and then 6 the next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah, your hand's forced. Yeah.
Wienburg's path from here.
Yes, certainly digging through time for anything. Yeah. Pete minus. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Any removal. That's any piece of interaction.
You have to reveal the card, sir. Is that a downfall?
Legion's End?
I'm pretty sure the last card's just a land, right? I don't think it's another Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, I think it's just a...
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just Milieu.
Yeah. Right.
This, Milieu. See ya! Peter Ingram is going to win this match here over Ben Wienburg. 2-1. Wienburg went down the inverter path, and it did not work out. Ingram, 10-0.
That was a really great call there from Ingram. That's one of those things where you kind of have to have a sense of what are actually my odds of being able to